Hello, back in the captain's chair for another enthralling episode of Three Things with Ian. It is episode 76. It is the day after St. Patrick's Day. Hope you're all feeling spry and limber. First off, a shout out to all my runners out there who are, due to the good weather and the hard work paying off, hitting PRs. I want to congratulate a good friend of mine, Mark, who has had some exceptional runs lately and smashed his PR in the 5K record. And I just want to give a shout out. Hard work does pay off. Keep those legs churning. Running is a mental game. It's also a physical game. Always listen to your body and be good to yourselves. All right, so the three things today. March Madness is upon us, the season of vasectomies. I will go over my bracket. I will post a link. We'll do a little competition. We'll see how many brackets we can get. And I watched the Electric State, so you don't have to. I'll give you my review on that. And kombucha. Does actually anyone drink it? Does anyone actually like it? What is SCOBY? All those questions and more will be answered. First things first. It is bracketology, the made-up science about picking random winners. I just did my bracket, and I will not go through the entirety of it. I will post a link to the CBS Sports page, the Three Things with Ian. I made a bracket pool. You can join if you want. I'll do my Elite Eight. I have Auburn, Michigan State. That's a 1 and 2 matchup from the South. My East matchup, I have Duke, Alabama, 1 versus 2. You can see where I'm going with this. I'm not very good at picking upsets. Here we go. My first big upset-ish is in the West region. I have number 8, UConn, versus number 2, St. John's. Some Big East schools there. And then in the Midwest, I have Gonzaga. They are, I believe, an 8 seed against Tennessee, a 2 seed. My Final Four, I have Auburn, UConn, and Duke, Tennessee. And my champion, as I mentioned last night, I have Auburn versus Duke, 2 number 1 seeds. How creative. I know. I'm really reaching there. I have Duke winning for no particular reason. I don't even particularly like Duke. I would like to see Michigan go far. I have Michigan, unfortunately, losing to number 1 Auburn. The 5 seed was kind of maybe a little bit of a unfortunate seeding for them. Hopefully they'll do well. Michigan State also I have getting pretty far. Ultimately, I have them going to the Elite Eight, which is excellent for any university. I do not have my beloved St. Francis escaping. What's interesting is you can't even really pick, like the game Auburn is a number 1 seed against the ALST and St. Francis. I'm not even sure what ALST is, but I can't even pick of the 2 little mini schools. I can pick them winning versus Auburn, but I can't pick them individually. Just goes to show you how little the playing games really matter. And maybe we don't need to do them anymore. It's kind of annoying. Anyway, that is my bracket. I will post the link. I have decided that the grand prize will be to copy a page from NPR. I will record a voicemail message or do something with the dulcet tones of my voice for the winner. Let's see what we can get here. My number 2 thing, the Electric State, the $310 million flop. Netflix has apparently asked for a refund. I don't know what clause in the litigation packet they're pulling from, if they can even get a refund. But this is by the Russo brothers, who famously did a great job with an Avengers movie. The Captain America one, I think the first one. Anyway, they're sort of beloved in terms of making really compelling storylines and big action sequences. This movie stars 2 of the most unlikable characters on the planet, and Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown, or some combination of those 3 names for her. This was a big swing and a miss. This was supposed to be Netflix's like blockbuster of the spring season. All the pieces were there. You have the really interesting premise of robotics versus humans. Who doesn't love that story? Essentially, the premise boils down to, and it's kind of a lot. You have the Millie Bobby Brown character, and her family is killed by a car accident, and her brother, who's a genius, his consciousness is uploaded into a mainframe, and so a maniacal Steve Jobs character can help utilize his brain to make some robot killing drones, which are operated by humans, to kind of win the war against the droids. If that doesn't make any sense, don't worry. It won't when you watch it. This movie tried to do everything. It was an adventure, an epic, a drama, It tried to talk. It had like nostalgic set pieces that referenced a lot of other sci-fi tentpole movies. Um, the writers could not decide what they actually wanted this to be. It was not a robot smashing blockbuster. Good visual effects. Huge plot holes. I thought the first rule of robotics was not only have an off switch, but create a system in which they can't hurt humans. That didn't seem to take place. There's really no joy. There's very little amusement. It's not a heartfelt tale of a family trying to come together in bleak times. Chris Pratt is literally playing the same three characters he's always played with a terrible haircut. I mean, terrible. There's a few cute droids, but nothing you haven't seen before. This was not a great movie. I don't think that you will hate it. I just don't think you will enjoy it. That is my review of The Electric State. It is based on a graphic novel / book that perhaps is more worth willing to look at. I don't know. Apparently there were some major changes. Not shocking. It's weird when you take a story that exists and then you like do half of it and then change the other half. It's like, why didn't you just write an original screenplay? I'm not sure. Anyway, The Electric State is streaming on Netflix. It's 2 hours and 8 minutes. Really, it's an hour and 54 minutes, and then there's a lot of credits. Credit bloat is really a thing that no one really talks about. But man, there's a lot to say. A lot of people spend a lot of hard work making movies, so I don't want to belittle that. But credits are just crazy. My third thing. I just came back from a nice run. I decided what better way to, feel good about myself by drinking some kombucha. Kombucha is a weird thing. It doesn't make any sense in terms of the first person that made it probably didn't think it was drinkable, and they probably weren't wrong, really. It's a fermented tea, slightly alcoholic. It's got that vinegar sort of bitter note. It pairs well with lemon and ginger. This has both lemon and ginger. If you want to take a wild ride down food pathways and things like that, look up SCOBY. Anyway, there's a lot of prebiotic cultures in this. 1 billion, it says. Yeah, I think that's pretty funny. It says 1 billion CFU prebiotics at the time of bottling. Don't shake, so immediately I shook it. Kombucha is good if you like drinking something that isn't very tasty but makes you feel good about yourself, I guess. No, but I mean, really, it's an acquired taste. If you like tea, you have the base of kombucha is going to be a steeped tea, and then you add some cane sugar or some sort of sweetener, and then you're usually going to, obviously the SCOBY is what helps with that breakdown of the sugars and the fermentation to give it that beery flavor, that yeast flavor. So the ingredients really, you're looking at water, tea, and sugar, and those cultures, right? That's transforming the liquid, that's giving it its flavor, and then ginger and lemon. You can add any probably fruit. There's probably a raspberry kombucha or a strawberry kombucha. The ginger pairs well with the bitterness. If you like taking a shot of apple cider vinegar, or if you like very bitter, vinegary based foods, kombucha is the one for you. In a couple hours, I'll let you know how I'm feeling. It's something that I do enjoy periodically. I could never be a kombucha drinker daily. A little more expensive too. There's a lot that's involved in it. Obviously, you can make your own if you cultivate your SCOBY and keep he or she alive and name it. Got to name it. So anyway, that's where we're at right now. So I gave you my Elite Eight, my Final Four, and my top 2 teams. I gave you my eventual winner. I will post the bracket. If you want to join, do so. If you don't, do it anyway. The Electric State, big Russo brother flop on Netflix, and kombucha. Do you drink it? Do you understand it? Can you even smell it? Some people can smell it. Some people just smell it and just say, oh, it's not for me. So it's one of those very pungent, odoriferous, floral odors. Anyway, enough from me today. Be good to yourselves. Hope you had a great St. Patrick's Day. Next holiday looks to be Easter. I don't have an Easter costume, but I have time to get one. I will see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.